Okay, so imagine this. You finally find what you think is the perfect new apartment. You're excited, you're ready for a fresh start, only for it to turn into an absolute complete nightmare on day one. Well, that is exactly what happened in the story we're diving into today called The Infestation. And we're jumping right into the middle of the crisis here. You can just feel the mix of exhaustion and total disbelief in this one sentence. I can't believe that I have roaches, SMH. That's shaking my head. I mean, it just says it all, doesn't it? So, let's meet the person at the heart of all this. This is Kwan, and she's telling us her story in her own words, which is great because it means we get to see this entire disaster unfold right through her eyes. See, this was supposed to be a really promising new chapter for her. And like pretty much any move, it was all about making life just a little bit better, a little more manageable. So, to give you a little background on Kwan, she's a college student studying to be a kindergarten teacher. On top of that, she has a really important job as a behavioral technician for kids with autism. The whole reason for the move was super practical. She just wanted to be closer to her work and her school. And look, she did everything right. She took a virtual tour. She got all the assurances from management that this was a great place. She was, checking all the boxes you're supposed to. And then, just like that, the promise of that new start, it just completely shatters. It all went down on move-in day, a Tuesday, the day the nightmare officially began. So Kwan does something a lot of us would probably do. She fogs the apartment before moving her stuff in. Just to be extra safe, get a totally clean slate. But instead of giving her peace of mind, that one simple act ended up revealing the true horror show she had just signed a lease for. And we're not talking about one or two little bugs here. Oh no. The fogger does its job, and suddenly the real scale of the problem becomes horribly clear. They are literally pouring out of the kitchen sink, coming out from under the fridge. They're even crawling on the walls. This is a full-blown infestation. This quote right here just puts her in such an impossible bind. I mean, think about the timing of it all. She's already legally on the hook with the lease. Every single thing she owns is sitting in a U-Haul right downstairs, and the movers are literally on their way. What is she supposed to do in that moment? There's really no turning back. So naturally, she calls the front office, probably freaking out, expecting them to rush over and do something. And their response? They tell her to wait, not for a day or two, no. They tell her to wait an entire week for the next scheduled pest control. She's just supposed to live with this for a whole week? Unbelievable. As you can probably guess, waiting didn't make things better. In fact, the problem didn't just stick around, it got so much worse. This timeline just shows you how fast everything went downhill. Tuesday is move-in day, the discovery, and the brush off from the office. For the next few days, she's basically living under siege. Her kitchen is still packed in boxes because the roaches are just multiplying. By Friday, she's completely had it and emails them demanding they get the fridge and oven out of there. And then comes Sunday, the absolute breaking point. Let's just all pause on this number for a second. 300. That's about how many roaches she saw in less than 1 week. This isn't just a little pest problem, it's an actual invasion. It really puts that wait till Tuesday response from management into a whole new, awful light. So after days and days of living in this chaos, one single moment becomes the breaking point. One incident so disgusting that it was the absolute last straw. I mean, can you even imagine the mental toll of this? You can't cook your own food, you can't even unpack your kitchen stuff, you're stuck eating takeout in your brand new apartment, all while knowing that you are surrounded. It's such a normal, simple, everyday thing to do, right? She just goes to her fridge, which you'd think is the one place in the kitchen that should be sealed, clean, and totally safe. And there it is, the final horrifying straw. A roach, not just in the kitchen, but inside the refrigerator with her food. The waving at me part, oh my God, you can feel the absolute horror and disgust in her words. This is it. This is the moment everything breaks. So, this all leads us to the real heart of the story. After that fridge incident, Kwan is left with this impossible choice. And she's basically asking all of us, what on earth would you do? And here's the trap she's in. Laid out plain and simple. She can't move. Financially, it's just not possible. She spent all her money on this move. The fees, the movers, everything. But she also can't stay. She is, in her own words, deathly afraid and has a physical gut reaction to these things that have totally taken over her home. So, fueled by that last disgusting discovery, she takes action. She's done waiting. No more wait till Tuesday. The demand is clear, it's immediate. Get these infested appliances out of my apartment now. Tomorrow,
And this is the question she leaves us with. It just hangs there, completely unresolved. She's made her demand, but you can feel her bracing for that same lazy, indifferent response. It's a moment so many renters can probably understand, that feeling of being completely trapped and powerless. So really, what would any of us do in her shoes?